is just add an object. The object we're going to add is going to be a cylinder. All right, so I'm just going to bring the cylinder down, bring it over. I apologize, it's going to be a little off center. All right, so got to get it underneath the block because I'm not going to do too much. It's just going to drop. Okay, so that should hit it. Now, one thing you might want to do is just go into edit mode, select faces, select the face, and just squish it down a little bit so it makes it look like a detector. You don't need to do that, okay? In fact, you can even make this invisible and then have it just detect it when on a collision. It has to be, it can't be a ghost, but it doesn't need to be visible. All right, so if I go back into object mode, all right. Now what we need is we need to have a spawnable object. I will just add a, add a mesh, just a sphere, and in here, I want to make sure you're in game. Go over, give it some dynamics. I'm just going to make it a rigid body. It's an actor, okay? So that's just going to fall, okay? So now we go back in, just move that to one side, go back here, okay. This, all I'm going to do is go into game mode, or logic editor, I'm sorry, and I'm going to give it a property. I'm going to call this property detect, and I'll just make it a string. It doesn't need to be, but might as well be. All right. I'll go back into 3D view. So now that's a detector. The box, on the box, I'm going to make it a ghost so that when it spawns, the ball will drop and it won't interact with the box. I'll go into the logic editor, add a sensor, a keyboard. It's going to be a keystroke. Make it add a edit object. The object is going to be, I'm going to add an object. It's going to be the sphere. I'm going to link the two together. All right. So now, if I go into the gameplay, go into 3D view, start the game. I have a ball that drops. Okay. So what remains is when we come over here on the logic for the ball, I'm just going to go into the logic editor, add a sensor on a collision with the property detect. I'm going to add an edit object, end the current object, which is the ball, and in this way it's going to delete itself. So go back into the 3D view, game, start the game engine, whoop, go back to the right layer, right, and that'll delete itself. Okay. Okay, and so common errors are, if we go over here in the logic editor, this property is case sensitive. So it has to be, if it's all in lowercase, you want to set up a convention so that if it's all in lowercase, you make sure that it's all lowercase. If you capitalize it one place opposed to another, it's not going to be the same character string, and it's going to say, oops, it doesn't detect it because it is named differently. Okay. Okay, and so that's a common error. So other than that. Okay.